Hey you guys, it is Saturday. I'm going to take me a nap. I am exhausted. G is off cleaning out his mom's storage. They've been cleaning his mom's storage. One of two of his mom's storages for the last couple of days. And he was like, my mom is a hoarder. I'm like, yeah, I heard that on several occasions that she was a hoarder, but they're going through her storage. You know, she's no longer with us. And so um, they're trying to go through and clean out the storage and get what they want to get and then get rid of the rest because there's just no reason for them to keep paying on the storage if she's no longer here, and if no one's using it, the stuff is just kind of like sitting in there just rotting away. And she has a lot of stuff, and they've been in their storage for 3 days and they still haven't finished yet. You guys, I want to remind you that we're coming up on October and we only have 3 months left in the year. Number one, use your FSA, HSA dollars. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Use your vision benefits. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. If you met your deductible, go ahead and get all your visits out. Anything that you need to do health-wise, it is time to do it if you have just met your deductible, because most plans, your deductible will restart on January 1st. So, whatever you need to do, whether it's a annual, you need to go to see your foot doctor or anything like that, go ahead and do it before your deductible resets. Some people's deductibles are from calendar year to calendar year. So if it's set on the 30th of December, like if it's set on the 30th of March or whatever, one year it will reset on the 30th of March the next year. But most people's it resets on January the 1st of the following year. So I say that to say, use your benefits. Don't lose them. Don't give the insurance company their money back. We got our first package in our new house together. And yeah, Gino and I we lived separately when we met, but we lived right down the street from each other. So we were always at each other's apartments. But now we're actually living together. And when I tell you guys, it is an adjustment because he's throwing me out all these ideas of what he wants to do with the apartment, and I'm like, hell no. I'm like, we're not doing that. Okay, yeah, so I got us a foot massager. Oh, and it's heated too, you guys. This was $60 at on Amazon. It's by the Silly brand, Silly. And I want to test this bad boy out before he does. Because, yeah. Like I said, you can get things like this on your I can't say it. With your health savings account. And you can get things for your back. You can get, like, if you have really bad periods, you can get, like, the little heating pads that help with cramps. So, don't sleep on your FSA, HSA dollars, okay? Okay, so it's in the color black. I really got this for him because he's complaining about his feet hurt all the time. And I just want to do something nice for my baby because he's been coming through a lot lately. He's been doing the damn thing. And I just wanted to do something. Because I really didn't get to get him anything for Father's Day. So this is because I wasn't working. So this will make up for it. Okay, so in this you got your instructions, of course. You got your power cord. I love when they put little thank yous in there. It just makes the purchase that more sentimental. And then, of course, you got a remote. Okay, so these are your settings. Please choose a chair with your desired height. Put your feet in a massager. Gonna operate the below control panel to get a foot massage. 1 is the power button, 2 is the rolling and kneading, 3 is the compression button, 4 is the vibration button, 5 is the heat, 6 is the pause, remote control, 7 is sound. Do not set up the device in a bathroom. I put on socks because I feel like it's a little bit more sanitary. So let's just see. Oh, that tickles. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. This is not. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hold on. That's so. Okay, we need to change the settings on this. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Because that is not. That is not cool. That is not cool. That is not cool. That is not cool. Okay, hold on. Baby, because I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that. Oh, baby. If you got sensitive feet, you might not can do this. Oh, you guys. Yes, Lord. That is like a man's hands on your feet. 10 out of 10 recommend. Then it has heat. Baby, I could fall asleep. This feels like somebody at the nail shop massaging my feet. And it's getting right there under the heel, which is where I have the most pain. Plantar fasciitis. So, yes. I'm going to sleep after this. This is like an automatic foot rub. And then if you do this, it'll compress your feet. I don't know, that may be for circulation. But it compresses your feet. It's definitely a sensation to get used to. Okay, so I wanted to come on here and talk about a subject that I know a lot of people are experiencing right now, and that is homeless. There are a lot of working homeless people out here who just have fallen on hard times, or they couldn't make, rent got too expensive, loss of an income, illness, loss of a spouse, loss of a partner, loss of a job. It doesn't matter. A lot of us are one paycheck away from being homeless, period. Anyway, so the reasons don't matter. It's the outcome, it's what people go through when they are homeless, and that is something that I'm very familiar with. I myself was one of those people that were considered working homeless. My homelessness wasn't because of a loss of a job or anything like that. I just did not make good financial decisions. Now that I look back on it, I could have did better with my finances. I didn't have to go through what I went through if I would have just made better decisions. I haven't always had the best relationship with money, being a single parent. I was always trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. And there was never enough money in terms. I live paycheck to paycheck, and I'm still not far from that now. Like a lot of Americans, we live paycheck to paycheck because things are just so expensive. And life is just lifing. So what I wanted to do is come on and just give some of the things and tips and tricks that I were able to pick up when I was homeless. I know it was just Devin and I, my kids, my oldest 2 kids, they weren't a part of this because they're adults, but Devin is still with me. And I know a lot of people may say, well, why didn't your kids just go stay with your kids? Well, my daughter didn't live in Texas at the time. And then my son, he already had his own thing going on. That just wasn't the best time to be moving in with him. And so what happened was I put my stuff in storage, and then I set out to get an Airbnb. Well, lo and behold, Airbnbs aren't always consistent. Sometimes you may need an Airbnb Monday through Friday and someone booked out Wednesday. So that means you'll only have it for Monday and Tuesday. You got to pack up Tuesday morning and then leave and go somewhere else to finish out the week Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because Airbnbs, as you know, are expensive and they're not always booked out consecutively. Sometimes the days are broken up because other people have booked them on certain days. It's the same thing with a Turo. You may want to rent a car for the weekend, but somebody has it on Sunday, Saturday, so it's really only available Friday. And that doesn't help you at all. But I say this to say, Airbnb, there's other options out there besides Airbnbs, and also Airbnbs are expensive. To stay in an Airbnb for a month, I looked. It's like some places it's like $2,000. Most places it was more than my paycheck, or it was my entire paycheck. And I didn't always have that much up front. So those weren't always a viable option. And the only thing I didn't like about Airbnbs is sometimes with Airbnbs, you don't know you don't know the exact place that you're going until you get there. So with a hotel, a hotel. We all know Extended Stay America. We all know Hampton Inn. We all know La Quinta. We all know the Hilton, the Hilton. We all know DoubleTree. We know those places. With Airbnbs, you don't know, have a vicinity of the neighborhood you're going to be in, but you don't know 100% where you're going until you get there. And that's the only aspect that I didn't like. Sometimes my Airbnbs would be tiny houses in people's backyard. I went to one place and I went to go check in and it was in a couple's backyard, and then they had friends over, and so here I am walking through their backyard to get to the little tiny house that they put on Airbnb. It was nice. They built it from scratch. It was nice. But being a single woman and only having my kid, it was kind of uncomfortable, but I made it work. Also, I did an Airbnb on a add-on suite that one of the ladies that I was renting from, that I rented it from, she had added an addition onto her house to kind of offset her renovation costs. Now that one was cool, but it didn't have like a kitchen or anything like that. It was basically a bedroom, bathroom, and a microwave, and I think a sink. So we had to eat out every day, or we had to put things in the microwave. So that wasn't always productive. But I'm grateful for the little places that we had here and there while we were homeless. But we spent most of our time in a hotel. Extended stay, like I said, those you can book by the week or the month. I know when I stayed in Uptown Suites, you could book by the month. Uptown Suites is awesome. Like if you have an Uptown Suites in your area and you need to stay somewhere long term, depending on, of course, what it looks like, Uptown Suites is a great option because it caters to families. Like they have showers, they have little, what do you call them? Eating nooks where you can sit around and eat. It has a nice kitchen. The cabinets were nice in the kitchen. I mean, I'm gonna link the video that I had. I don't know if I did an Airbnb tour of that a hotel tour of that hotel. But if you can, I'm gonna put some clips in here where you can see from the background that it was nice. The only thing about staying in extended stays or hotels is you have to make sure you keep booking it out in advance, because when I booked 1 week, I'd go, you don't have to pay for it, but you have to reserve it. Like I remember when I stayed in Uptown Suites, I went downstairs to pay for my another week, but they told me that someone had already rented my room. He was like, I was trying to call you and let you know, but they had my old phone number. So he was like, we don't have anything else available. Basically, you got to get out because somebody already booked the room. And it was ACL. So I realized, and that was like at 9 o'clock at night. So I'm panicking. I'm about to cry, trying to figure out where Devin and I are going to go next. Luckily, we got into this another extended stay, which I hated because it was, ugh. The one that I got in, I didn't like it. I hated going to that one. I went to that one several times. It wasn't the best. It was kind of grimy, but it got the job done when I needed it to. One of the things that I want to tell you guys as far as like getting out of the cycle of homelessness, you know, as far as what helped me is just putting my pride to the side. And don't get me wrong, that was the worst time. That was one of the worst times in my life. I felt embarrassed. I felt shameful. I felt like a piece of crap. I felt like a bad mother. I felt like a bad person. And I just remember like longing to be in my own place. Like longing to be able to decorate and have my things. Because all of my things were in storage. Just the longing to have my own place, my own space, and not having to sanitize everywhere I go. And you know, I had a car full of stuff, so sometimes I would have to travel or go to work with all of my stuff, you know. And then there were times I had to take Devin to work with me because we had to check out at 11 and he had nowhere to go because our check-in wasn't until after I got off work. Only a couple of people knew that I was homeless at the time. So which gets back to number one. If you have family or someone you can live with until you get back on your feet, reach out. Even if it's just for a month or two or just enough for you to save up a couple of paychecks to get back on your feet. That helps. Or unless it's to, you know, whatever you need. If there is someone out there that you feel like you can go to, but you don't want to go to because you're embarrassed and you don't want them to know that you're having a hard time, if they really give a crap about you, they're not going to judge. Like it says, those that don't matter, those that matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter. So if you have people that you can lean on, shout out to Evelyn. You were a godsend when I needed you to, because I just needed to stay with her until I could get money to get another apartment. Pay for another hotel for a little bit longer. But she was like, no, we're family. You can come stay with me. And we ended up staying with her for a few months, probably about 3 or 4 months before, you know, I got my own place that I got before we left Austin completely. But like I said, don't lean on family if you have to. There's no shame in asking for help. It's hard if you're a self-sufficient, independent adult, but no one gets through this life alone. We all need help at some point in time. And who's to say that the person that blesses you, you won't be a blessing to them one day? Number 2, if you do live in extended stays or hotels for extended period of time, I've saw this, I don't know how true it is, but they'll take the taxes off of your hotel stay. I saw that on TikTok. I know you can't read everything you see on the internet, believe everything you see on the internet, but it's worth a try. Hey, do you give certain discounts for people that'll be here long term? I didn't know that. Apparently that's a thing, so they say, but find hotels that'll let you pay for a month in advance. That's a month you don't have to worry about going, you know, to have somewhere to stay. I know for some people $1,000 and something is hard to come up with up front, but to me, I just looked at it as rent. But it depends on your finances. Not everyone can cough up $1,000 and something up front, because some people don't make that in a month, you know, $1,500, whatever. But if it's 2 of you and you have the option to put together 2 of your paychecks and just pay for a month, that's a month you don't have to worry about trying to find a affordable place to live. 2 is, when you're ready, or even if you're not ready, it doesn't hurt to try. Zillow helped me get to where I am now. They have this thing on Zillow where you can, it's called Zillow applications. And so what you do is you pay $35 and you get a month's access to Zillow to apply for as many places as you want with just paying that one $35 fee. It is a thing, and it's not a scam. The only thing is, just because someone is on Zillow and it says it accepts Zillow applications, that may not be the truth. It may be a half truth. They may accept Zillow applications. It may say they do, but they don't. So they'll either direct you to their website or they'll email you an application through PDF. But just be prepared that just because it says they accept Zillow applications doesn't mean it always does. But the good thing about it is you don't have to fill out all these application fees and then you get denied and then you're just losing money. So make sure when you go to apply or you go to filter through what you're looking for, your rental criteria, 2-bedroom, whatever, 1 bath, whatever neighborhood, make sure you check the box that says accept Zillow applications, because a lot of times those are private landlords, and private landlords sometimes tend to be a little bit more lenient because while they're sitting on properties, they're losing money. Unlike property management companies who are just in and out, in and out. You know, it's usually corporations or something. So businesses, so they're not really, their turnaround time, they can let a property sit a little bit longer than someone who has, a regular person who has 2 mortgages, because they haven't rented out their rental property yet. So that's always a good option. And number 3 is, with me, I was just honest about my rental history and my credit. It may work for you, it may not. You know, and he asked those questions and he wanted to know. And as you can tell, they still gave me a place. So I always say, what God has for you will not pass you by. All you have to do is the work. Don't be afraid to, like I was applying. I'm going to tell you something. I did not discriminate on what I applied for, because you never know. I applied for houses. I applied for apartments. I applied for luxury apartments. I didn't care, because there was going to be somebody out here. I was like, you mean to tell me in this big old city of Cincinnati, there is not one person who will not rent to me, knowing that I have not the best rental history and not the best credit? Lies. Don't feel discouraged, because if you live in a big city, there is somebody out there willing to rent to you, knowing what your situation is. Yeah, so don't let that deter you. Because I remember thinking, like, no one's gonna want to rent to me. I have, like, my history is way too bad now. But that was not a lie, because honestly, I had to find a place. I had to, because I accepted a job with the company that I am with now, and we had a 10-week training period. And after those 10 weeks, we were going to be working from home. And so I had to have a place to work from home. If not, I wasn't going to be able to do my jobs. That's what put me in a push. And so it got to the point where I had so many people calling me to rent places that I couldn't even keep up. That's why I say, you never know what'll happen until you start looking. And on top of that, let me tell you how else God blessed me. I moved in here on a Sunday. I was set to work from home on a Monday. There was still 100, it's not 100, turn this off. There was still a week and a half left in the month. And you know what my landlord told me? He said, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's only a week left in this month. We're not even going to charge you for the remainder of the rent that's due for this month. Just go ahead and move in. You never know. That is how God bless you. So the only thing I had to pay when I moved in here was my deposit, which was a month's worth of rent. And also, when I did my Zillow application, they have a little section that you can put additional information, or if there's anything else you want them to know. If you don't have great rental history, I put in mine I literally put in there, I am not above. I am okay with paying first and last month's rent. I'm okay with paying an extra month's rent for my deposit. I'm okay with paying a month's rent for my deposit. Anything I could do to let the seller, to let the person know that I was motivated to get in, and I needed a place, that I was willing to give them an extra month's rent to get in there because I so needed a place to stay. That's what I did. Now, I will tell you that Zillow, well, from what I saw, Zillow goes through Experian. So when you get to the end, they're going to do a little background check or whatever. Basically, it does the background check for you, for the landlord. And then the landlord can see what your credit history and rental history, judgments, and all that stuff look like. My landlord did a background check of his own. It doesn't do a background check. He did another background. They did another background check, which they discussed, and it came back okay. My landlords, they're great. Love them to death. That's why I say, don't just get discouraged and think just because you have a bad rental history that's gonna automatically exclude you from renting a place, because it's not. Don't let that discourage you. So that's two things that I learned, like look for extended stays, pay out a month in advance if you can. If not, do what I did in extended stay. Get friendly with the front desk person at the hotel that you're staying in. They will sometimes hold things for you. I'm not saying that they do, but I'm saying the front desk person is going to be, whoever works the front desk, that's going to be the person that you will go to for everything you need. And sometimes they can tell you like, hey, you need to go ahead and book this room out because what I would do, as soon as I paid for a week, I book out a week. I reserve them. I would go in to the website and put I need it from this day. I would constantly do that every week to make sure that just go in and make reservations like you're constantly booking a room if you're not going to pay a month out. Just make sure that you constantly booking that same room. Are you going, because if you go down to the front desk, they'll tell you what to do. Because they'll say, hey, you need to keep booking so you can keep your room, because otherwise we'll have to move you somewhere else. And if we have to move you, like me, there may not be any place else for you to go, and you may have to leave completely. And third thing I do, what else did I learn? For public benefits, that's a good thing, because you are considered homeless. And if you meet the criteria for like SNAP and things like that, you can get assistance. I don't know how long SNAP is going to be in existence with this current president, but when you are living in an extended stay, things like that, I think you are considered homeless. So if you don't make a lot of money and you have kids, you can get food stamps. Because being homeless is expensive. It really is. A hotel for a month can easily cost $2,000. And if you're making minimum wage, 15, 16, 17, even anything less than 20, even 20, that's a lot of money. So just make sure that you're using all your research. Reach out to churches. If your job has like a financial assistance program, if you have a 401k that you can borrow from, you can borrow from your 401k. Don't let anybody, I borrow from my 401k. If you have any type of 401k or anything that you could draw from to get you on your feet, do that as well. You're in survival mode. We don't have time to sit around and be like, oh, I don't want to draw away from my 401k because in 35 years I plan on retire. You're homeless now. Go ahead and just draw it out, get where you need to be, and start putting back into it. Because I feel like life it's always gonna be something. So like I said, anything that you can tap into to get some extra money, do that. Side hustles, staying with family, even if you have parents who can contribute. I didn't have that luxury. I really didn't have any family that I could lean on. I even thought about roommate situation. If you know somebody that can benefit from you being their roommate, find a roommate. That's, you have to think outside the box when you're homeless, and especially if you have kids. That may not work if you have kids in tow, because people are kind of finicky when it comes to dealing with other people's kids. But if you know someone, you can say, if you know where you can find a roommate or somebody that's looking for a roommate, do that. That anything that gets you from sleeping in a hotel or your car or anything else, do that. That's why I said thank you. Shout out to Evelyn, because me and her were roommates for a little while till I got up on my feet. And what else? That's basically it. I just wanted to share those few things, but this was brought on by this mom that I watch on TikTok. Her name is _Karen. I think she has like a little kissing emoji, lip emoji on her thing. It's _Karen, and she's living in an extended stay right now. And it so resonates with me. Where she is, that's where I was. Just wanting to be in your own. You had a home, you had somewhere comfortable, you had somewhere to live, and then she just looking back on all the times that she took for granted being in her home. Like I said, I remember I would pass by, when I would leave work, I would be so sad because all the people that I work with were going home to their homes, that I knew of. They had homes, they had apartments, they had whatever. Me, on the other hand, I was going to DoorDash to hustle up the rest of the money to figure out where we were going to lay our head that night. It got so bad that one night I missed check-in because I was too busy trying to get the money to DoorDash to get the rest of the money that I need to get the hotel for that night. And check-in stopped at 12 o'clock. David and I had to sleep in the car. That was the worst night of my life. I felt like such a horrible parent, a person, a mother, a woman. That was the worst night of my life. And it was summertime. It got so bad, I started to call my boss and tell her that I didn't have anywhere to stay, and that we were sleeping in our car. And I knew she would have come let me stay with her, but I didn't. Something just kept me from doing that, because I felt like, which goes against what I just said, right? But that was me. I just didn't want everybody at my job knowing I was homeless. It was bad. And then one day my son called me. He was like, hey, our apartment is available if you want to come stay there. And so we ended up staying at his apartment for a few months. And then we ended up just, getting back on our feet from there. But yeah, just use your resources. Don't be afraid to ask, and check out Zillow for if you want to start the process of finding you somewhere to stay. Zillow is a great option for those of us who don't have great rental history or have great credit. You don't have to keep going, filling out all these application fees, and essentially losing money that you could have put towards a hotel or Airbnb. So with that being said, that is all I wanted to share with you guys. It was prompted from me just having nostalgia from just traumatization from living in an Airbnb. And that's actually where I met Gina. We are so grateful to have our little piece of apartment. And it is so peaceful. We don't have to deal with anyone else other than ourselves. Okay. It is Thursday, and I got off work at my normal time, 4:30. You guys, claims, if I have not said it a million times, claims is not for the weak. Processing claims, denials and all that stuff, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I'm trying to be, but with the way the government going and this government shutdown, I'm just going to have to make it do what it do. Because I want to quit because it's new, but I don't want to quit because it's new. And I have to give it time. But like I said, I've only done this job for August, July, August, September. going on 3 months. So I've only been on this job going on 3 months, and learning the ins and out of claims is a lot. I swear to God, I've had so many, like, I've tuned out. I've had so many, like, and then my manager's like, oh, we need to get your numbers up. I'm like, lady, I can't get my numbers up until I fully understand what it is I'm doing. Yeah, I get these other people get it faster than me, but most of these people they're either worked claims before going to school to be a biller, or have worked for the company before, just in a different department, so they're still familiar somewhat with doing claims. I have clinic experience. Like, yes, I see claims. I know I can recognize the claim. You know, I know what it is a claim is, but I didn't do that. We had billing departments for that. I just made sure that I had my stuff tight and right for when it got ready to go to the billing department. That was my job, but it's gonna be all right. I don't see myself. It's one of those jobs where it's gonna take a minimum of 6 months for you to really start just getting into your groove. Right now, it's a lot of trial and error. Like, I just did some pin dupe checks. Well, basically you're checking for duplicates, and then it's a 7 type of bill, and so it's adjustment. I was freaking out because I think I did, and I was like, should I have done an adjustment when I should have done a void? And I'm like, I don't know. So we're going to see when them audits come back. I'm going to have my fingers crossed, because I feel like I adjusted when I should avoid it, and I avoided when I should adjust it. I don't know. I'm going to have to get clarification tomorrow before I go further, because I feel like I'm jacking it up. I don't know. But I don't know. But we're going to pray about it, because, you know, God blessed me to get this work from home job, so I'm not going to complain. I'm going to make it do what it do. I just did a Kroger's order. Kroger's delivered my stuff. I love Kroger's because you can either choose to have it delivered by an Instacarter, or you could choose to have it delivered by the actual company. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys what I picked up from the grocery store. We had went grocery shopping Saturday, but I didn't get the things I wanted to get because I was using my OTC card. And you know, with your OTC card, you have to get all things healthy. So I couldn't get pancake mix. There were most of the juices I couldn't get, because, you know, juice is high in sugar. So working for a healthcare company and you get your little OTC card, it's called OTC network card, basically an EBT card for your job. But it's only for healthy stuff. It's the stuff that they want to do with the EBT card, which is make it where you can't get junk food, cereals. I mean, I don't buy a lot of junk food. I may get a pack of honey buns and a bag of chips here and there, but I'm just not downright. I'm trying to cut back on, Gino and I are trying to cut back on the sweets, because I'm approaching 50. Yes, I'm approaching 50, and baby, no. But anyway, let me show you guys what I got. Hold on one sec. All right, I'm just going to give you guys a quick just an overview of everything I got from Kroger's. I got a thing of Eggland's Best Eggs. And Kroger's have some good coupons, too. I used to shop at Kroger's all the time when I was in Louisiana, but I only shop there on a sale because our Kroger's in Louisiana is expensive. Kind of like Brookshire's Brothers, and kind of like Albertsons and Randall's. They're kind of pricey, so most times you only shop there when there's stuff that you want to get on sale. But the Kroger's here is doable. Okay, so I got some meatballs, put some jelly in that. Cherry vanilla salted butter cookie ice cream. Interested to see how that's gonna taste. Picked up some TV dinners for work. Roast turkey, Salisbury steak, chicken parm, and fried chicken. Just something quick I can pop in the microwave, because I only get 30 minutes starting next week. I got 2 pizzas. I'm a Supreme girl. And then we got Ultimate Pepperoni. I got 2 cases of this spring water. It was 2 for $7. I got some pork chops, which I may make tonight. I got 2 packs of pork chops. Keep these in a sink so they won't get cross-contaminated. I got 2 packs of pork chops. And then I got a pack of thighs. And then moving over here, I got some garlic parm knots. I got a Devon thing of pancakes. I got some spinach because I'm going to make my chicken Alfredo pasta. Got my broccoli to go in the pasta. I only got one. Oh, I did. I thought I got 2. Maybe I only got 1. I got 1 of these. Then I got a bag of wings. You guys, these wings be so expensive and they don't have hardly anything in them. And then Kroger's had their bags of fries. You know, I love me some Ore-Ida. These were $2.99 a pop. So they had these on sale. But I must have forgot that I already had these in here, or I didn't really care because they were so cheap. But yeah, I got 3 bags of fries. Let's see, these were $2.99. I feel like I got more cereal than this. Maybe I didn't. I think I probably weeded down my list after a while. I got a thing of corn pops and then a thing of Fruit Loops to add to the cereal that we already have. I got a red onion and a yellow onion. I got some bananas, some tomatoes, a thing of ground beef patties, bananas. I got some Alfredo sauce, some manwich, barbecue sauce. Can't live without my Old Bay. Some minced garlic because I'm not cutting up any. Some mustard I thought I got last time. Some onion powder. I like to have, being from Louisiana, I like to have an array of spices. Some smoked paprika. Some bacon bits because I'm going to make me some baked potatoes for lunch one day. I just put these in the microwave. Some red pepper flakes. I have all this stuff, but it's in storage. Chicken seasoning. I've been so addicted to grapes lately, especially the black grapes. They're so good. I got some sour cream. I don't know why I didn't get the squeezable one. Some cayenne pepper. Oh, keeping in the theme of the seasonings. I got some sea salt. Black pepper. We didn't have any. I got some strawberries. I haven't tried this before, but I wanted something to line my iced coffee with. So I got these Skinny Mixes salted caramel syrup. I'm going to try that with this Stok cold brew. And then this oat milk brown sugar shaken espresso creamer. So I'm excited to try that. Why did I get 4 things of... I must have had some stuff already in my list. My list was too big. So apparently I got 4 things of cinnamon rolls. I don't know why. I don't know. I had a list before and I must have didn't clear some of the things out like I thought I did. So we have 4 packs of cinnamon rolls. I love these Gino loves these Arizona Arizona drinks. So I got a fruit punch. And then I got a mucho mango. And then of course gotta have some pancake mix. Some ranch is a must. I've got 2 packs of the Kroger's brand cookies. They were only $2.99. I'm not above getting a store brand cookie. I wanted some potato salad to eat with my wings, so I picked that up. I got a 4-pack of green beans. And I got a 4-pack of sweet corn. That's what I love about Kroger's. They sell this in 4 packs. And this was only like $3 and something. It costs more to buy these individually than it do in a 4-pack. Then I got some bow tie pasta. I got another loaf of bread. Devin wanted some of these toaster pastries, strawberries, so I got him those. got some Oreos for him. I didn't get a big pack because that was pushing it. Fruit snacks, some bread, hamburger buns, and then I'm gonna make me some sandwiches on my lunch break. And then I got some Hawaiian rolls, and then these were a good deal. These were $7.99 a box, so I picked up 2 of these. I got this one, and then I got the one with the regular chips. And then I picked up a box of honey buns. So yeah, that is everything that I picked up had dropped off from Kroger's. And I'm gonna work on putting this stuff away. I need my deep freezer because this is not gonna work. This is too small. This is not enough. I need my chest freezer ASAP. Okay, so this is tonight's meal. Just some wings that I got from Kroger. And this Reese's red skin potato salad and some Hawaiian rolls, and I'm going to bed. All right, let's grab some. What do we want to drink? I'm gonna grab a water. Yeah, let's grab a water. Okay, Gino has this thing where he only wants to drink spring water. I don't know why. He has reasons, but I'm not buying it. So, but just to appease him, we get spring water. So.